Yes, we are live. Happy Friday. Tonight, we're gonna live the good life. Happy Friday. Cheers to you. Grab your beverage, your water bottle, your fancy glass. We got some sparkling water up in here. Happy Friday. Maybe it's another cocktail or mocktail. No shame in that game. It's Friday. Why not? It's Freedom Friday. Come on in. We had some technical difficulties yesterday, so I'm going to do a recap of what happened yesterday. If some of y'all tried to pop in, it was muted. But we've been here every single day this week. So if you are here live and you've been consistent every single day, say hashtag live. Come on in. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Come on in. We are going to live the good life. We're going to celebrate today. Talk about celebrating and capturing our wins. Stopping and smelling the roses. We're going to live the good life. Come on in. All right, let me see. Make sure that we are live in all the areas. Because yesterday we had some difficulties. So let me just make sure this is good. And then the good life. Let's see. Beyond Limits. We are live. We're going to share this. I think, hopefully. I'm going to share this. Let's see. How do we share? How can we share? There we go. Hello. There we go. Now we can share into our group. There we go. Facebook made some changes, so all good. We are here. Okay, so those of you who are shouting us out from the Thrive Network, y'all, we have a free Thrive Network with Beyond Limits here. So make sure if you're here, let us know where you're tuning in from. I'm going to do a quick recap. This is a 5-day Bombshell Boot Camp. 5 ways to have courageous confidence in seasons of change, to live happier, healthier, wealthier, more vibrant, more alive in our body. Come with me. All right. Nice. That was a beautiful song. Each and every day. It doesn't get old. Kind of like living on the beach here. So you get to design the life that you desire. And today we're going to talk about celebrating where we're at and who we're becoming. We've had a long week. We've been here every single day this week. I'm going to do a quick recap. If you missed the first couple days, definitely go back and catch the replay. If you're not sure where it is or how to get to it, please send me a message and I'm happy to direct you in the right direction. The replays will be available for the next couple days throughout the weekend. And that way you can binge watch this. It's better than Netflix and any cartoon out there. Trust me. All right. Day 1 of the freedom formula, as we've been going through this week, is recognizing who we are to our core. So we have core confidence, we core values, we have our core identity, we have our core posture. Recognizing our confidence comes from being in alignment of who we are to the core. All right. So the more aligned we are with who we are, our unique capabilities, our unique strengths, our unique values, our unique experiences, and owning and embracing all parts of you, this is how we be more vibrant. This is how we be more alive. This is how we can be more in alignment and happier and healthier. What happens is, and I've been there because being in the military for 22 years, I had to put parts of myself aside. I had to compartmentalize in my body and in my system. And so there were parts of me that had to shrink. There were parts of me that played small. There were parts of me that fit in and did things to fit in and be liked and feel like I belonged in this group. So often we do that to adapt to society or adapt to the group, so adapt to your family even, right? And so when you know who you are to the core, unstoppable, unshakable, unbreakable, and you are unapologetically you, this is the work that we do in my world. So in my courses and at my retreats, we get clear in who you are to the core. So we quiet the noise with no one else's opinions around. Yes, we do some reflection and some mirroring exercises and we do some inner child work, But what we do is we put a mirror up to you so that you can get clear with who you truly want to be and where you truly want to go. And so often I see this a lot in my clients and even in friends and family. They skip that step. And then we do what other people think we should do or what society thinks we should do. And all of a sudden we live a life that is for someone else. And I always say in my programs that we want to put ourselves in the driver's seat. So I want to ask you a question. We're going to go through the rest of the days, but before we move on, I want to ask you a question right here, right now. Be honest with yourself. Are you in the driver's seat of your own vehicle, of your own life? Or is someone else driving your car? And you're like hanging on for dear life. You're not even in the vehicle. Everyone else is driving your vehicle. And you're like holding on for dear life at the back, trying to hold on to the bumper while you're like going through potholes and all these, twisting and turning, and everyone's just taking you for a ride and you're exhausted and you're like a rag doll, all beat up because everyone else has taken over your life and your schedule and your dreams and your goals. So if this is you, no shame in that game. This is your time. This is your turn and your time to shine. So this is the work that we do. So day one, all about core. Day two, building confidence by recognizing that our energy is everything. So how we arrive, how we show up, how we dress, our energy, how we arrive into a conversation or even into this live today. There's things that I do to put myself in an energetic state. And then there's things that I say no to. I got a phone call about 20 minutes ago. And there's some business that I needed to attend to and some things that I have to respond to. And so my friend asked me, hey, we have to, do you want to talk through this? I know you have to do this, but I also know that you have a call in 20 minutes. So where would you like to begin? And I said, you know what? I want to save this particular conversation that's going to take me in these rabbit holes and, it might bring up some other things. So I protected my peace and my energy going into this meeting, into this live, so that I can bring my full self to you so I don't deplete all of my energy before I show up for you. So these are small micro decisions that you can do to make sure that you can show up confidently and energetically positive, open, focused, and energized and ready to take on your day. So that's day two. Day two. Day three was about consistency. And we walked through the 34-minute method, which is my signature method, which is 2 minutes of goal setting, gratitude, and intentions in the morning. Hello, Jackie. Happy Friday. I'm glad you made it. And then 30 minutes of movement. We did a little bit of movement from our chair on Wednesday. If you missed that, go do a little chair workout on replay. And then 2 minutes of celebration and reflection at the end of every single day. And today we're going to talk a little bit more about celebration, give you some tips and things that I think about when I go to celebrate. Day three, we also talked about tracking and utilizing the systems and the tools that we may have already in our tool belt, but also that we need to maybe add to our tool belt. Because if you were already where you need to be, then everything in your toolkit would be perfect. But unfortunately, to get to the next level, we have to make different changes, which means we might need to use different tools, which also might mean we need new people in our life. So recognizing our community is everything was day 4. So if you missed day 3, day 4 was all about community. And if you missed day 4, chances are a lot of other people missed day 4. So I'm going to spend a little extra time on day 4 because I think this is important. I had technology problems. The wind was crazy on the beach. We didn't have any power or water yesterday. I showered in the ocean. I couldn't cook. I went out to dinner. I just pivoted and I really tried to come live. And for some reason it muted halfway. So regardless, I'm here. Day 4 is all about community. And so understanding your community and your environment plays a huge role in our energy and our confidence. And so often, if we're not quieting the noise or getting around the right people, then we can bring in the energy and the voices of the people that may not be on your team. So Do you ever have a family member or a friend that says, yeah, maybe you shouldn't do that? No, you shouldn't take that trip. No, I need you here. Or no, I could never do that, so neither should you. Or maybe you shouldn't start that business. Go get a real job. Or isn't it time for you to get married? Isn't it time for you to date again? Or isn't it time for you to have children by now? So often we hear the voices from other people of what they think our life should look like. And I have heard all of those voices from other people. And I think they're very well intended, but I think as a human species, we love to fill the air. We don't like silence, and we only know what is familiar. And I teach a lot of this in my corporate wellness and in my leadership programs. The power of the brain and biases and our experiences and how our brain and our human behavior works. This is not to judge anyone, but the challenge is that if we don't have the right people in our circle that are fueling us forward in our community, that are helping us launch us forward, helping us give us tools, helping us, just cheer us on, even though they don't get it, or share our content, or invite people, like just say, you know what, you need to meet my friend. I don't know, like I don't understand all that she does, but I can't tell you how many people that do this and it works. Because people are like, I don't know half the stuff you do. I don't know how you have time to pee throughout the day. I don't know where you'll get all that energy from. I wish I could just take some of it. But let me help you. How can I help you? So yesterday we talked about community by auditing our circle and saying, okay, who in my life can I give to, and who in my life can I receive from? And so this is a dance. It's an energetic exchange of giving and receiving. And so if you find yourself in a season where you're only taking from everyone, then it's time to look in the mirror and really audit where you're at. Because I do believe that there are some times in our life, like where you're in stress and duress. And I know this personally, especially when I moved here, where I needed to receive a little bit more, a lot more than I was serving. Because I was serving and giving and giving and doing and doing. And I was so disconnected from my body that I needed to reconnect with my body again as I was healing my heart. And so there were times that I needed to receive, and that was uncomfortable, quite honestly, where I needed to, even in these last couple of years, I've needed to receive more than giving. But I spent many, many years giving. So just pay attention to this energetic exchange of how much you're giving, how much you're receiving, as we navigate the different roles of people and maybe job or volunteer roles in our life. Maybe you work at a church, or maybe you volunteer at a nonprofit, or maybe you run a nonprofit like me, right? So pay attention to this energetic exchange of who fills your cup by either giving or receiving, and who sucks your energy dry. Now, we have to pay attention to those things because our energy pie, we only have so much of it. And so we need to make sure that we have enough left to give our loved ones, so that we should be able to pour into ourselves first, so everyone else gets an overflow of our energy, right? So it's an us first, you too, you first movement. Okay. So think about that. And so when we think about our community and our energetic exchange, we have to think about boundaries. Where do we need to set boundaries in our life? Where do we need to say no to create more space to say yes to the things that are going to serve us? So this boundary conversation, this is like the toughest thing. And in my program, I do a 3-month group coaching program. And we start with our identity and our strengths and our values, our emotional intelligence. We get into our habits. We go through nutrition. We get through confidence in this energy exchange. Then we do a relationship module where we talk about the anatomy of relationships and auditing our circle and really understanding who's in our network. Because a lot of times the people in our network can help us reach that next level, but we're afraid to ask for help. So they're right there for you and want to help you, right? But then this is power of receive and understanding the roles that we play in relationships. And then our capstone is all about boundaries. Okay, now that we've done all this analysis and auditing and we are grounded in our strength and our confidence, now it's time to enforce or reinforce or reset some boundaries in our life. And this can be with ourselves, an energetic conversation and contract with ourselves, maybe with our health, our fitness, our nutrition, our mindfulness practice, our daily rituals. So setting boundaries is not selfish. Setting boundaries is self-care for you so that you get to pour into yourself and your health first. And then everyone gets the overflow. Okay? And then tip number 3 from yesterday with community is be the person in the community that you need. So if you want that fun, loving, energetic space and place, but you're the negative Nancy in every single exchange, if you're constantly complaining or talking about the news or the nasty things that you see all over the internet, or you're sharing some of that content, you're continuing to perpetuate the negativity. And I also teach on biases in the brain. So there is a thing of negativity bias. And you ever hear the saying, misery loves company, right? It's like an amoeba. It's like a cancer. Negativity loves more negativity and it loves to bring you down. So be the person that you want in your life. So catch yourself, look yourself in the mirror. If you're that one complaining or constantly being the negative one, like do the work. Get healed. Figure out what is triggering you. If you're not sure why you're angry all the time or why you're responding or reacting in a certain way, or you're biting people's heads off, or you're swearing and you have road rage, or you're constantly feeling depleted and anxious and angry, send me a message. This is the work that I do also in my private coaching. We take a somatic approach to understanding where all these patterns are coming from. And I always say when there's tension in your life, it's time to pay attention. So when there's tension, pay attention. And that can give us really good indicators and clues as to some of the work that we can do to unpeel the layers, to understand, okay, this is what is holding us back from living our best, healthiest, happiest life and impacting others as well. Or being the one that people want to be around. Sometimes people stop calling you. They stop asking you to go to dinner. There's got to be a reflection time to say, okay, what role am I playing instead of complaining all the time? So this is the work that we do. Okay. So that's day 4 about community. So how can you pour out and how can you receive? How can you give? How can you receive? And how can we have this energetic exchange that feels healthy and happy, so that you're feeling supported, but also you're supporting others and you're not pouring everything out and you're not getting poured into. But also understand where we have walls up, where we're not letting people in. I see this a lot, where we're the doers for everyone else. And a lot of times that's a trauma response because we don't want to let people close to us. We don't want to let people in. So it's easier to help fix everyone else's life than it is to spend the time on ours or to shed the spotlight on us. Okay, so this is some of the work that we can work through. So it might be a little sticky, a little icky, but the more awareness we have with these things that are holding us back from living our best, healthiest, happiest version of us, the better. And this isn't fancy. This isn't tricky. This is basic stuff. But sometimes the basics can be very challenging. And that's why we skip over those things. Right? Because it's uncomfortable. So we got to look in the mirror. We got to kind of like open up the heart and the mind a little bit and be like, okay, what's actually going on under the hood of your vehicle? So we go, let's check the engine. Let's check the oil. How's it going? How's it going in there? Are we hydrating? Are we being mindful? Are you fueling your body properly? Are you giving it the good nutrition, the good hydration? Are you moving it? Are you sleeping? Are you resting it? And how are we treating the only body and the only vehicle we get to live in for the rest of our life? And so often, what I find and what I have found is that my body and my vehicle, some people call me like superhuman, a robot, superwoman, whatever it is. I've run 28 marathons in a 50-mile race. After spending 6 months in a wheelchair in the middle of my NFL season in 2005, 20 years ago, 20 plus years ago now. I started learning about inflammation and mindfulness and movement as I was diagnosed with a really rare form of rheumatoid arthritis, and I was unable to walk. I shopped for my first apartment in a wheelchair. And so what happened was I needed to prove and push, and especially what I learned in the military is like your worthiness is tied to how much you do, how early you show up, how late you stay, how much more you can do with less budget, how much more you can work for free, how much less that you can show up for yourself. Service before self, service before self, service before self. Just keep doing, keep pushing, shoving your emotions down, putting your own needs aside. Who cares about your family? These are conditions that I lived in. And so I got really used to pushing and doing and doing and going and achieving and doing and going and achieving until my body shut down. And this happened more than one time. There's actually 3 major times where I was either burnt out, stressed, depressed, duress. And I've learned to develop a system. Now, took a lot to learn, but I learned to develop a system to be able to own and stay connected, to be able to own the progress and the becoming process, and stopping and slowing down and smelling the roses, and being able to just stay calm in the moment and being present in today. And I'll tell you, about 4 years ago, slowing down used to be a bad word. Like I've been studying the brain for over 10 years and human behavior. And I know mindfulness, I know emotional intelligence, I know that part. But the knowing in our head and a scholastic in a book is different than embodying it. And so the shift that I've been making in the last 3 years since moving here to Puerto Rico is unwinding this tight rope of my nervous system that was in stress and duress, and it was just so tight. So it was guarded and shielded, and it was in this like go, 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 push, push, push mode all the time. And so it wasn't until life completely flipped upside down and I sold everything I owned. I ended a 22-year military career and a 10-year marriage, came here with 10 suitcases the week before Christmas. I spent Christmas alone on the beach here, trying to move into my new apartment here in Puerto Rico. And I was in complete shock, and my system was like, and what I found is I've had to release, I've had to unwind and unpeel each strand one at a time and start to slow down. Finally, I was like, okay, I'll listen. I don't want to repeat these patterns. I don't want to be on this hamster wheel anymore. How can I live happier, healthier, and rewrite the second chapter of my life to make it the best half of my life? And although I've accomplished so much and I'm so proud of everything that I accomplished, I can't wait to live the next half of my life knowing more of what I've learned about the brain and the body connection and the somatic approach to healing our body from the inside out, not just losing 10 pounds and working out and pushing through. It's how can we quiet the noise and get down to what's true? So I'm going to say that again. It's not always about pushing through and being perfect and going and going and going. It's about figuring out what it is that you need, quieting the noise and getting back to you and your truth. And that, my friends, has been the most beautiful, most excruciating, but also most beautiful, alive, amazing journey. And so as I celebrate my 43rd birthday next week on August 27th, don't forget, I will be starting my PhD in somatic psychology on that day. And I'm flying to California for the first 4 days of an intensive in-person with my cohort. Then I'm going to be on this long journey of more excavation. And it might take me 6-7 years. So I'm going part-time online, right? So it's 3 years of coursework. And then they say 2 to 4 years of a dissertation. And I have some ideas of where I want to go, but I'm staying so present to the learning of who I'm becoming. So I am my own case study in a sense. I'm learning as I build more my toolkit, as I get mentored, as I have these experiences, as I travel, as I sit on the beach, as I have more mindful practices and more present moments with myself. I am so in alignment of who I am and where I'm going and what I'm here for and what I'm not here for. I've spent the last 3 years dating and getting to know myself to the core and utilizing all the tools and systems that I've been writing for years. And I just use the system again, but in a much different way. And I've been hosting this 5-day Bombshell Boot Camp almost every single month since 2021. Y'all, 5 years I've been teaching this course, teaching this freedom formula. But it takes different nuances. And so today I want to go through what it means to celebrate before we're done. And you're like, celebrate before we're done? What does that mean? What if you got to celebrate along the way? What if you didn't wait till you had your PhD? Like me. I did this work. I asked myself this question because what happened was I start my birthday next week and I'm starting my PhD, right? So I'm starting my 44th chapter. Crap. So I'll be 43 next week. But I caught myself in saying, well, I don't get to celebrate my birthday because I'm starting my PhD. I have to work. And although it's going to be a beautiful experience and a beautiful start to a new chapter, I was actually not allowing myself to celebrate because I'm starting something and I'm not allowed to celebrate until I'm complete with something. And even as I'm saying it, it's like, ooh, I would never tell my best friend that. Like, you have to wait till you're done before you can enjoy or celebrate or take that weekend trip or sit on the beach and just without guilt, or take that nature walk, or get yourself a pedicure or whatever it is that you want, or take yourself to dinner, buy yourself that outfit. Why wait? I have a lot of conversations with people that are retiring or that have like 5-10 years left until they are able to retire or eligible for retirement. And I feel like I'm a messenger. And God has told me, like, you are a messenger because I got to retire at 40. But even though I retired, I actually had to embark on this whole new journey and finding myself in unapologetically enjoying retirement and not skipping through to wait to celebrate, and honoring and owning the journey where I'm at right now and being able to celebrate today and say, okay, what would it look like to celebrate today along the way? And not wait till you've accomplished something or that you're worthy of a celebration, or wait till your birthday, or wait till you retire, or wait for that promotion. What if you decided that you are worthy of celebrating today? Because when you reinforce that celebration on a daily basis and you own and honor, and you can ask yourself, what would today look like if I celebrated how far I've come? What if you celebrate today how far you've come, not how far you have to go? So this is a powerful shift, because so often we're like, we're not good enough. We're not there yet. So we're not worthy of celebration, or buying that outfit, or taking that trip, or taking the time off, or taking the afternoon off. Yeah, I have nothing planned for the rest of this day. I'm going to the beach. It's Freedom Friday. No one's allowed to book me on a Friday. As soon as I'm done, I'm putting my hair up. I'm going beach hair, don't care. Every Friday, I've worked myself up to a place where I can unapologetically take time off, yes, during the regular workday. And it's uncomfortable at first, but if you were able to say, you know what, I'm able to celebrate today, even though I haven't achieved something, you've achieved so much and you've made it through 100% of what you've been through. So let's take a look back. And this is what I did actually in the last couple of days. I just booked my flights to California today. So I've been in this like ickiness. I'm like, I'm not really excited about my birthday yet, because I've been feeling like I shouldn't celebrate because I'm starting something. And so what I found in this process, and me like just witnessing these patterns of what was showing up for me, I said, how far have I come in these last 3 years? And I had the courage, to get certified in what's called compassionate inquiry. It's a trauma-informed therapy modality, which is an entire year intensive. So I spent about 6 months here in shock. And then I applied for this program, which is a 1-year intensive. And I graduated last May. So that was like 30, 40 hours of training and intensive clinicals and clients and certification, all these things. So this was a full-blown year of an excavation, which was pretty much, I don't want to take away like the PhD, but it was intense. And then this last year, I gave myself a break. I traveled, I took experiences, I got more fun and play, I did more deep inner work, I studied more somatic practices, more breath work. I got a couple tattoos. I moved to Honduras for 6 months. Like, I took on so many beautiful experiences to learn about my body and what I like and what I don't like and who I want to be around and how I want to run my business, because I get a brand new slate. Every single day you get a new slate, a blank page in your book. And each chapter, we don't have to wait till our birthday or New Year's Eve to re-identify ourselves. You can say, today, I'm going to re-identify myself. I'm going to say, okay, today, this is my day, and this is who I am, and this is who I'm here for, and here's what I'm not here for. And so I decided I'm going to celebrate my birthday. So I'm going to take an entire week. And even though I live on the beach, I'm actually going to go from California to Mexico for a couple days to spend a couple days on a different beach by myself and just enjoy and reset. And then I'm going to come back here. And of course, obviously the coursework is going to start. My cohort engagement's going to start. But I'm actually going to spend a couple days to honor my birthday. And even just saying that, it feels good, because I had so much anxiety and analysis paralysis, and I was like fighting it for some reason. So without judgment, let's just say, you know what? How can we choose ourselves today and see how far we've come? I've been through a lot in the last 3 years, and I'm still working through a lot, but I am so proud of the woman that I became. And about 6 months ago, I applied for this PhD program. After I graduated my Compassionate Inquiry last May. That's my private coaching program. So if you want to do a private session with me and you're curious about what that looks like, it's called Compassionate Inquiry. And we recognize the patterns and what's happening physically in our body, and we understand where it's coming from. And a lot of times it's childhood memories and things might come up. And so we help to understand, so we're not in anxiety and ADHD and depression and all these, our body and our system is overwhelmed a lot and we're disconnected. So I help you reconnect the stories that we've been telling ourselves and where the anxiety or that throat, where your guts in your throat, right? Or you have pressure or you have sciatic pain. All of these things are triggers and emotions that are trapped. And so I went from May till January, where I applied, and I got accepted into this PhD program. And I'm so excited. I'm here to celebrate. And I want to talk to you about the definition of bragging, because I think this comes up a lot, especially for women, because we like to tear each other down. Like, why is that? Oh, it's so horrible. It's our limitations we project on other people. So the definition of bragging, and I want to go over this because I want you to be able to celebrate yourself. I want you to be able to say your goals. I want you to say it loud, say it proud. I want you to say, if I'm bragging, here's what it is. The definition of bragging: celebrating yourself, telling someone else your dreams, your goals, whatever it is, what you're celebrating, what you're honoring, what your wins were, and putting someone else down in the same sentence. Did I put anybody else down in all the things that I have honored and celebrated of how far I've come? No, I didn't compare myself to anybody. I didn't say I was better than anyone. All I said was, I'm proud of the woman I've become 3 years later. I'm stronger and happier and healthier than I was yesterday. One day at a time, stronger than yesterday, against myself, the previous version of me. I'm so proud. So that is not bragging, my friends. It's honoring, it's sinking into alignment in confident trust, knowing to your core of who you are and knowing that you're made for more. And that you're willing and that you're worthy of going after it and putting your message and your dreams and your goals out to the world. So I'm on a mission to empower everyone on the planet, put themselves and their health first for at least 34 minutes a day. This is my 34-minute method movement. It's a movement. This isn't just a fad diet. This isn't a quick fix. This is a movement. So this is much bigger than me. This is bigger than us. We're changing generations. We're changing mindsets. We're shifting things in our body and our nervous system. And we get to tell others what we're going after. When I started speaking on stage, I remember, I'll never forget, I spoke on stage at an event in Vegas called Level Up. And that was the first time I told people on stage that I hosted retreats and I wanted to have female veterans go on a scholarship. And I was asking, they like, it was a fundraising event. So my ask was, hey, I'm looking for people, and I still am, by the way, so I'm going to just do a shameless plug here. I'm looking for people that will partner with me that want to support female veterans to attend my retreat at a no cost or low cost. So if you know of investors or people that donate to veterans and want to support and send a female veteran to my upcoming retreat in November here in Puerto Rico. And a lot of these women, they want to start businesses. They're in a season of change where they're about to retire or get out of the military and they don't know what their next chapter is. So they're in a season of change where they might be caretakers, they're parents, and they don't know anything else except for these roles. And so in my retreat, these women do everything for everyone else, especially the female veterans. They serve their country, they serve their family, they serve everything. And then they put their dreams on the back burner. And so during this retreat experience, we bring that to the forefront. We quiet the noise and we say, okay, now it's your turn. You served everyone else. And now it's your turn. So when I started putting my message out there at that speech, I had someone in the audience say, you know what? I want to help one female veteran. And I know exactly who she is that I want to send. So I want to nominate her and I want to send her and I'm willing to pay for it. Where do I sign up? Now, if I didn't put my lofty dream and goal out there of how I want to serve and support other women, then I never would have connected with her, with this woman. And I never would have been able to pour into this veteran. And I'll tell you, this veteran was suicidal on day one. And she started a business and built consistent habits that is still going today. I see her live every single day. So that's the power of the work that I do. But also, it's also the power of honoring the journey along the way and sharing my wins, sharing what I'm going after, and bringing other people along that can help me get there. And so I know that now I travel all over. I've been traveling around since 2022, hosting retreats everywhere, renting places and spaces. Now I'm on a mission to have my own retreat center, whether it's in partnership or collaboration with another retreat owner. But I want to have my own space, my own wellness center, preferably a place that I can live as well. But I want to have my own peace palace where it's a beautiful wellness center where I can collaborate with other wellness and retreat hosts and have it be an event center and a place and a space that people come to help to get healthier, happier, wealthier. And we have these incredible immersive experiences. So that's my goal. All right. So I'm throwing it out there. That's my goal. And I'm celebrating how far I've come because I keep continuing to get curious. If that's the goal that I want, how am I going to get there? Who do I need to become? Who do I need in my corner? How do I need to show up? What do I need to learn? What habits do I need to consistently do each and every day? Who do I need in my corner? What type of mentorship do I need? So this is the power of celebration and honoring and reflecting each day. And we do this in the Crystal Clear Life Planner. I think I shared this with you earlier this week. The Crystal Clear Life Planner, you can find this on Amazon. It's a 90-day action plan to embrace chaos and live a fulfilling life. We go through celebration and reflection at the end of every single day, at the end of every single week, at the end of every single month. So we celebrate and capture the wins. And what we capture, we use these wins to create momentum. So it's the momentum and the capture and the honoring and the celebration that sinks, and it takes note, takes inventory. I got my bell. Hopefully you can hear it. The brain goes, that's a win. You did it. Oh my gosh, you did it again. Oh my gosh, you slowed down enough to honor yourself again. Oh my gosh, you asked for help. Oh my gosh, you said your dreams, that was scary. Oh my gosh, you went online again. Oh my gosh, you set a boundary again. Oh my gosh, you went to that appointment. Oh my gosh, you went to the Revive and Thrive retreat, honoring yourself and your health. So see all those dings? It's evidence every single time. Ding, 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 evidence. The brain keeps track of every single time you show up for yourself and your health. And it's the evidence that creates the momentum. The momentum creates the confidence because our body is in motion and we're like, oh my gosh, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Oh my gosh, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Oh, okay. I'm doing it. Cheers. I'm doing it. Okay. Which means we tell ourselves a different story. I can do it. I'm doing it. I can do this. I'm doing it. I can do this. Okay. Cheers. Scary. Yes. I'm doing it. I'm going to do it again tomorrow. But I've done it before. Look how far I've come. I can do this. I can do this again. So the evidence and the system keeps playing on repeat. So we're never done, my friends. It doesn't mean that when we achieve and we make it to the top of the mountain that we sit back and we're like, yep, I'm done. No, we start over. Yes, we celebrate, we honor, but then we start over and we say, okay, now that we have this new identity of celebration and honoring how far we've come, now what is it going to take for us to get to the next level? And also recognizing how we celebrate. I used to celebrate with alcohol and food and sweets. So this is my final thought for you when it comes to celebrating. If you were to think about a way that you can celebrate and honor yourself or spend time with yourself each and every day, that doesn't include alcohol, doesn't include sweets, doesn't include a meal. So often our food and our alcohol is so tied to celebration, birthdays, right? Birthdays, anniversaries, promotions, whatever it is, retirements. All these things are around food and alcohol. So what if we got to redefine what a celebration is? And let's get curious. Like, what would fun and play and like just honoring and spending that time just reflecting, what would that look like? For me, it's really looked like a mocktail in a hammock and reflecting on maybe reading some comment cards from clients, maybe reflecting on all the wins and all the things that I've accomplished and the things that I went after that were scary and I did them anyways. And reflecting on the day, reflecting on the week, reflecting on the month, reflecting on the quarter, reflecting on the midpoint, reflecting on the year. And just spending that time in peace. And it doesn't have to cost anything. What costs you everything is when you give away your peace and you don't give yourself the gift of yourself. So we want to use these wins as momentum. We want to make sure that we celebrate before the finish line. Don't wait. Because what happens at retirement, or if you wait to live life after retirement, tomorrow's not promised. After retirement is not promised. So often we wait. So don't wait to start living and to start celebrating and start feeling and cheersing to yourself and spending that time. Go take yourself out, whatever that looks like. Okay, so I want you to create, I have some homework, 2 things that I want you to do. I want you to put your hand on your heart One hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. And if it feels comfortable, just relax your shoulders and close your eyes, or go to a small, like just 3/4 of the way closed into an eye gaze, slight eye gaze. I want you to take a couple deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. One more time, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And I want you to think to yourself, what is one thing that you can decide to celebrate today? What is one thing? One win, one thing you're proud of, how far you've come. What is one thing you went after? Maybe one thing you decided to start. And sink it into your system right here. And stay connected to that for just a minute. Take a couple more deep breaths. And I want you to ask yourself one more question. Maybe post this in the comments. I am proud that I ... I am proud that I... What are you proud of? I have learned that I... Fill in the blank. I am proud that I have learned that and now I'm ready to boom. So when we can sink in how proud we are of how far we've come, what we learned along the way, what we learned, and maybe who is in our corner along the way, being in gratitude there, using that as fuel to elevate you forward. Now I'm ready to step in, to become. So I'm proud that I learned that and now I'm ready to boom. So that's a decision. So I want you to continue this momentum, continue the decision that becoming healthier, happier, and wealthier doesn't have to look perfect. It doesn't have to mean you push. It doesn't have to mean you have to do more. I just said a lot of words. It doesn't mean you have to do more. It doesn't mean you have to accomplish more. It doesn't mean that you have to prove more. It doesn't mean you have to push more. Becoming happier, healthier, and wealthier sometimes is just recognizing the growth along the way and celebrating who the heck you are, why you're put on this earth, what you're going after, and recognizing that you are proud of yourself, that you have learned so many things along the way, and you're going to use the pride, the gratitude, the reflection, all the lessons and blessings to fuel you forward, and decide that you get to choose you each and every day, no matter what. So go capture your wins list, capture all the things that you're proud of, all the things that the lessons and the blessings, even the tough stuff that you've learned. I've learned so much more from poor leaders and bad situations. It's not comfortable. It's not sexy. It's not cute. It's ugly, actually. It's ugly and it's messy, and we call it the messy middle for a reason, but that brings more opportunities for us to be proud of ourselves, more opportunities for learning and growth, and more opportunities to fuel it forward and say, okay, so what, now what? Okay, so I want you to look yourself in the mirror and say, you know what? Why not you? I'm proud of you. I've learned so much along the way. I'm going to celebrate each and every day. So what, now what? I'm ready for what's next. Let's take on the world. Let's walk into every single door frame for the rest of your life. And let's make the best half of our life, the next half of our life, the best half of our life. Energetically, unapologetically, unshakable, unbreakable. So this has been the 5-day Bombshell Boot Camp, helping us unleash the power that's within us to be unstoppable, to have courageous confidence despite anything that comes our way. So keep showing up no matter what, like your life depends on it, because it does. I hope you have a great week, a great weekend. If you want access to the replay and you're not sure where to find us, or if you want to share this with 3 people, please share this movement. Share it, where the replays are going to be available all weekend. If you want access to the Revive and Thrive retreat or any of my coaching or private coaching, let's hop on a call. If you're not sure what this means to work together and you're like, I just want to put you up in a little pill and take you every single day, there's options for that, okay? So join me in my world. Send me a message. I love you all. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day and a great weekend. Keep celebrating yourself no matter what. Cheers. Mwah.